Last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought, since 2000.
Everybody.
You know, it's this fight with two of the greatest of all time. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, there's already been some challenges, and we're all figuring out how to work with each other. And we'll have this thing dialed in by the time they walk in September. So it's been fun. The thing is, you know, I'm very honest about who I like and who I don't like, and I actually like Canelo and Crawford a lot. So that's going to make it even more fun to be a part of.
Dana White just sent shockwaves through the fight world, warning fans that Canelo versus Crawford won't be technical, it'll be violent, dangerous, and absolutely brutal. This isn't just a super fight, it's a war waiting to explode inside the ring. With two of the best fighters in the world getting ready to face off, even things behind the scenes have been intense. Dana White opened up about the process, saying there have been challenges, but everyone is working together. He's excited for the fight and promises will be ready by the time they step into the ring.
You know, it's this fight with two of the greatest of all time. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, there's already been some challenges, and we're all figuring out how to work with each other. And we'll have this thing dialed in by the time they walk in September. So it's been fun.
Even though Dana is excited to be involved in a massive fight like Canelo versus Crawford, he made it clear where his heart truly lies. For him, discovering new talent and building future champions is what he loves most. Whether it's the Contender Series or looking for a fight, that's what he plans to focus on for years ahead.
Not only promoting Crawford, but promoting the fight of the century against Canelo.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride, and you know, when I think about my first boxing match that I'm ever going to promote, you know, it's this fight with two of the greatest of all time. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, there's already been some challenges, and we're all figuring out how to work with each other. And we'll have this thing dialed in by the time they walk in September. So it's been fun.
The tension between Crawford and Canelo has heated up as both fighters trade sharp words. Crawford isn't holding back, calling out Canelo for disrespecting his record. The rivalry is turning personal, with Crawford promising to prove he's the true elite and warning Canelo that beating him will change everything and leave Canelo's legacy in question.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2000, 2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna
you.
be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same shit everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
The buzz around Crawford moving up in weight has sparked plenty of debate. Some question if he can handle the size and power at 154 pounds. But Canelo stays confident, focusing on his skills and hard work. He knows what it takes and isn't worried about the jump. His eyes are locked on Crawford and the challenge ahead.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why made me change. But you know, I've been in his situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is very good fighter.
Furthermore, while Canelo showed respect for Crawford's skills earlier, things took a turn behind the scenes. After their face-off, Canelo revealed that things have now become personal. He didn't like Crawford's attitude, and according to him, that moment in Riyadh crossed the line, leading to a physical push and a warning not to mess with him.
Yeah, a little bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to like walk me back, and that's why I pushed him. And, you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
On the other side, after Canelo openly questioned the level of Crawford's past opponents, Bud didn't hold back. Instead of firing back with insults, he took a different approach, defending the fighters he's faced and warning Canelo that talk is cheap. Crawford made it clear that on fight night, he won't be trending words or shoves, he'll be throwing punches.
I can say a lot of negative things about Canelo's resume, but I won't. You know, I wanna, you know, pay homage to the fighters that he fought. And if he don't want to pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're going to say after I beat him.
When he pushed you, I know you've gained weight. You look actually a lot bigger. When he like gave you like a half shove, like how was like that size feeling now?
Listen, that wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? Like that little push didn't do nothing, as you can see. But come fight time, we're not going to be pushing, we're gonna be punching. So
as the spotlight grows on the Canelo fight, Crawford opened up on the Joe Rogan Experience about what's driving him. This isn't just about another belt, it's about making history. Moving up 3 weight classes to challenge Canelo, Crawford believes this is his moment to prove greatness and silence every critic once and for all.
That never been done before.
Right.
And you know, it's greatness. Like I said, this is my era and I'm taking it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. So now I didn't shift gears because I know I wanted to fight Jamel, but if he lose to Canelo, I always said, man, that's a big step. That's a big step, but for a person to go up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 and to win and become undisputed, wow. What can they say? They can't say nothing right now, but what can they say?
Furthermore, with pressure building for the Canelo fight, Crawford made it clear this isn't just another payday. It's the biggest fight the sport can offer. Speaking with confidence, Crawford explained why the stakes are far beyond titles. For him, a clash with Canelo is about defining who truly rules this era.
I think it can happen. I think that's, to be honest, I think that's the biggest fight in boxing. He beat Charlo, Terrence Crawford, Canelo. That's the biggest fight in boxing, hands down. No other fighters could compare to that. You know, no disrespect to Charlo, but he's not a superstar. He's not, you know, on Canelo's level. Now he got a chance. Don't get me wrong, like he's gonna do well in that fight.
Still, Crawford isn't ignoring the challenge ahead. He gave credit for having the tools, but reminded everyone that greatness isn't just about size. It's about preparation, execution, and rising in the moment. And for Crawford, proving people wrong is nothing new. He's heard the doubts before and crushed them every time.
And he got the tools to win. You know, it's just about preparation and what type of fight he fight. It came natural and easy for me when the fight came. You know, like I said, only thing they kept saying how he's gonna beat me is because he's bigger and he's stronger. That was it.
You look stronger.
Of course. And I was just like, how do you know he's stronger than me?
Right.
He might be bigger than me, but...
However, the fight gets closer, and Dana isn't hiding his excitement. Known for speaking his mind, Dana rarely holds back when it comes to fighters. But in this case, he admits there's no bias. He genuinely respects both men, and that mutual respect, he says, makes this event even more special to be a part of.
The thing is, you know, I'm very honest about who I like and who I don't like, and I actually like Canelo and Crawford a lot, so that's going to make it even more fun to be a part of.
Adding on, as debate continues around who truly runs the sport, Canelo or Crawford, boxing legend Antonio Tarver weighed in with his take. While some try to stir controversy or hype, Tarver reminded fans to look at the bigger picture. For him, it's not just about names being thrown around, it's about what happens in the ring.
How could it be Canelo? How could it have been Canelo, bro? Think about that. Canelo is undisputed. How could it have been Canelo? Everybody talk, everybody say a lot of things, and we know that's their job to promote. You know what I mean? So when you speak on his, they bring names together. So that's how people stay relevant. You know what I mean? But it was a good overall successful night because we had some devastating knockouts. We had some upsets. You feel me? And all that makes for a good night of boxing.
Moving on, Travor acknowledged that both men bring elite skills to the table, but he pushed back on the idea that size will decide this fight. In his view, Canelo might not even hold a real size advantage, and that changes everything. What matters most, Tarver argues, is timing, technique, and the level of opposition each man has faced recently.
Kind of like, no, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2", like Bivol or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing. The most important thing is going to be skill set. And both of them coming with their skill set. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing. Those guys aren't going to get him ready for a guy like Crawford. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grind.
Moving on, as critics question the strength of Crawford's resume, Kenny Porter isn't having it. The veteran trainer came out swinging, calling the doubts around Bud's journey total nonsense. For Porter, this isn't just opinion. He's watched Crawford grow since childhood and believes people are forgetting just how deep Bud's experience runs.
Well, you know, that's total bullshit. That's total bullshit. See, because here's another thing where that's concerned. Bud has been a boxer since I first met him, he was like 12, 13 years old. So Bud has been tested in national tournaments, Olympic trials, Pan Am Games. We were in Venezuela together in the Pan Am Games. He's been tested so many times along the way that when
Building on that, Porter explained how Crawford's smooth performances made top-level competition look like tune-ups, the same names Canelo dismisses. Kenny sees as real threats the champions who were simply outclassed, and if history has shown anything, it's that Bud never fails when tested at the highest levels.
he got to the higher levels in professional boxing, he made it look easy. And a lot of times, the guys that he made it look easy against, those are probably the guys that Canelo are saying, oh, that's nobody, it's nobody. Nah, dude, that's who they put in front of me. That's who the champion was at the time, and I beat him. And just like Bud said, everybody that they put in front of him, he has beat him. I'll never bet against Bud.
Meanwhile, most experts are still split on who wins, but Tim Bradley has already made up his mind. The former world champion and analyst isn't buying into the Canelo power hype. Bradley believes Crawford has the tools to shock the world and even hints at a secret reason behind his confident pick that he's keeping to himself.
If Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo, or you really think that he's gonna knock out Crawford? I would pick Terrence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't gonna tell you why I would pick Terrence Crawford, but it's part of the secret is the reason why I'm picking him.
Furthermore, as the fight inches closer, Crawford's longtime trainer Brian Bomack believes the real difference won't come down to size or strength, it'll be mental. Bomack says Crawford's preparation goes far beyond physical training. According to him, once Bud locks in mentally, stepping into the ring with Canelo won't just be a challenge, it'll be target practice.
Really, you know, we know the type of fighter Canelo is, so, as a fighter, you mentally prepare for things like that, and then as a trainer, just making sure he's sharp. His mental game is sharp, his physical game is sharp. Strength-wise, nutrition is everything. Got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
As the hype builds, veteran boxing analyst Al Bernstein sees more than just a clash of styles. He sees a mental chess match already unfolding. For Bernstein, the psychological edge may prove just as important as the physical, and based on what he's seen so far, Crawford might already be getting inside Canelo's head.
It's obvious, I think, that both men want to make sure they don't cede the high ground in terms of the psychological battle. I mean, even Canelo, Crawford, has kind of gotten under his skin enough so that we see that side of Canelo, which comes out every once in a while, where he's more rambunctious and maybe hostile. But it was, I think the thing about this event is, as the promotional stuff goes on, You know, I think we're going to see more and more of that kind of psychological sparring.
As either guy.
Being one of boxing's most respected voices, Bernstein isn't ignoring the size difference. While both men have climbed weight classes, he points out that Crawford is making the more extreme leap, and in his eyes, that could create real challenges once they step into the ring.
The reaction was that, you know, it's a lot of weight for Crawford to go up to. He started below 147, obviously, as a fighter, so he's going pretty far up in weight. Now, Canelo himself was a 154-pounder, so, you know, he went all the way up to 168, but there's a little difference there. And I think that that's a big issue. Now, whether that's enough to make it impossible for Crawford to win this fight, that remains to be seen. This is a different Canelo Alvarez.
Still, Bernstein reminds fans that this isn't prime Canelo from years past. The Mexican star has evolved, but so has the wear and tear. At the same time, Crawford isn't known for knockout power at this weight, which means outboxing Canelo might be his path to victory.
You've seen, this is a different Canelo Alvarez. It's not the same one from 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, or even 3. So there's that. And then there's all the different eccentricities of each boxer. For Crawford, he's not going to hurt Canelo, but almost nobody hurts Canelo. He's got a rock chin. But can Crawford, who isn't always a volume puncher, make sure that if he's being the boxer puncher, he throws enough punches?
That's why Bernstein says the keys to victory lie in the later rounds. If Crawford can stay active and keep the pressure on, the judges may lean his way. But if Canelo lands clean and slows the pace early, Crawford's chance could slip away. It's a chess match of timing, output, and endurance.
He throws enough punches to win every round. Right. That's important. Right. And for Canelo, if he doesn't hurt Terence Crawford, which he might, can he sustain in those later rounds where we've seen Canelo Alvarez from time to time just fade a little bit? Yeah. Crawford's a very good fighter into the later rounds.
Even legendary ring announcer Michael Buffer is weighing in on the Canelo versus Crawford spectacle. While most are debating power and size, Buffer sees this fight through a different lens. For him, it's not about knockouts, it's about pure skill. And when asked about Dana White's involvement, Buffer had nothing but praise for the UFC boss stepping into boxing.
I think it's going to be a close and interesting fight.
Right.
I think it's going to be a technical fight, not a power fight.
Now, what do you think about Dana White promoting it? Do you think
he's only proven himself to be one of the greatest promoters in the history of sports? So
he's good.
Pretty good deal.
He's good for boxing.
So now it's all out in the open trash talk, legacy, mental warfare, and two of the most calculated fighters in the game are about to clash at the highest level. Canelo says Crawford's resume is weak. Crawford says Canelo's time is up. Dana Scheidt calls it brutal. Legends like Al Bernstein, Tim Bradley, and Antonio Tarver are split down the middle. And even Michael Buffer calls it one of the most intriguing technical matchups in recent boxing history. Who do you think takes it, Canelo or Crawford? Will it be power or precision that decides this war? Drop your predictions in the comments below and let us know how you see this ending on Fight Night.